Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Anuja Kumar and with me is Rupinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. International Women's Day being celebrated today. President Ramnath Kovind confers Nari Shakti Puraskar on 29 women achievers in recognition of their exceptional work towards empowerment of women. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi extend greetings on the occasion. Prime Minister says Indian economy picking pace after pandemic, which reflects fundamentals and reforms of the government. In Manipur, re-polling in 7 polling stations of 5 assembly constituencies progressing smoothly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a seminar at Women's Saints Camp at Dordo in Kutch this evening. India raises concerns at UN Security Council over humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, calls for immediate ceasefire and need for return to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. And in Women's World Cup, Australia defeat Pakistan by 3 runs at Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. As we start the bulletin, we appeal to our listeners to stay safe from COVID-19 by following these 4 simple steps. Get fully vaccinated, wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. International Women's Day is being celebrated today. The day is observed every year to celebrate the social, economic, cultural and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality. The theme for this year is #BreakTheBias. As a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, a week-long celebration of International Women's Day started on the 1st of March in New Delhi. The celebration culminated with the conferment of Nari Shakti Puraskar for the years 2020 and 2021 by President Ramnath Kovind at Rashtrapati Bhavan today. The award was conferred on 29 outstanding and exceptional women achievers in recognition of their exceptional work towards empowerment of women, especially the vulnerable and marginalized.
Tara Ragaswamy from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. She is being awarded for her innovative and relentless efforts to create awareness and cure mental orders. She is a co-founder and vice chairperson of Schizophrenia Research Foundation, shortly known as SCARF, in Chennai.
The Ministry of Women and Child Development confers Nari Shakti Puraskar on women and institutions in recognition of their relentless service towards the cause of women empowerment and social welfare, and to celebrate women as game changers and catalysts of positive change in the society. President Ramnath Kovind has greeted citizens on International Women's Day. In a tweet, the President said, "Women are making exemplary contributions in all walks of life." He called upon everyone to recommit themselves to ensure their safety and dignity and to provide opportunities to each of them to pursue their dreams and aspirations. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has greeted people on International Women's Day. In a tweet, the Vice President called upon people to collectively strive to build a gender-neutral world by ensuring that women are not discriminated against in any form. He called upon everyone to empower women by upholding their dignity, ensuring their safety, and providing them with equal opportunities.
On Women's Day, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has saluted the Nari Shakti and their accomplishments in diverse fields. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said, Government of India will keep focusing on women empowerment through its various schemes with an emphasis on dignity as well as opportunity. He said from financial inclusion to social security, quality healthcare to housing, education to entrepreneurship, many efforts have been made to put our Nari Shakti at the forefront of India's development journey. The Prime Minister said these efforts will continue with even greater vigor in the coming times. The Prime Minister said at 6 this evening he will address a program being held in Kutch which will highlight the contributions of women saints to the society. In another tweet, the Prime Minister said, during the various Mann Ki Baat episodes, different aspects of women empowerment have been showcased and highlighted the life journeys of inspiring women, who have brought grassroots level changes. He also shared a video that highlights how Mann Ki Baat has celebrated the Nari Shakti. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will virtually address a seminar on International Women's Day at Women's Saints Camp at Dhordho in Kutch at 6 this evening. The seminar is being organized to recognize the role of women saints in the society and their contribution towards women empowerment. Over 500 women saints will attend the seminar in Dhordho. The seminar will include sessions on culture, religion, female upliftment, security, social status, and role of women in Indian culture. The welfare schemes of central and state governments benefiting women, along with achievements of women, will also be discussed. The seminar will also witness participation of Union Minister Smriti Zubin Irani.
On International Women's Day, Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani has conveyed her best wishes to all women who strive and thrive each day. In a tweet, the minister said, "Let International Women's Day 2022 be a celebration of women-led development." Later, addressing International Women's Day event organized by Bureau of Police Research and Development in New Delhi today, the minister has said that one of the greatest challenges for women in the police force is that they cannot afford to look weak, not to the society and not to the establishment. She added, women police personnel are always dedicated to protect other women in the society, but when they face some challenges themselves, they do not describe it to others. She said there are creches for the children of other working women in the society, but not for the women police personnel. The minister suggested that Ministry of Women and Child Development would like to arrange special creches for the children of women police personnel in the district level. The minister said, when a woman undertakes her responsibility, she does not rest till it is completed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said that Indian economy is once again picking up momentum after the once-in-a-century pandemic. He asserted that this is the reflection of government's economic decisions and strong foundation of the economy. The Prime Minister highlighted that the government has taken many steps to maintain the momentum of high growth in this budget. Addressing a post-budget webinar on financing for growth and aspirational economy, the Prime Minister said the centre has tried to accelerate financial and economic growth.
इस बार के बजट में सरकार ने तेज ग्रोथ के इस मोमेंटम को जारी रखने के लिए अनेक कदम उठाए हैं। फॉरेन कैपिटल फ्लोज को प्रोत्साहित करके, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर इन्वेस्टमेंट पर टैक्स कम करके, NIIF, गिफ्ट सिटी और नए DFI जैसे संस्थान बनाकर हमने फाइनेंशियल इकोनॉमिक ग्रोथ को तेज गति देने का प्रयास किया है।
He said the country's commitment to the widespread use of digital technology in finance is now reaching the next level. He added that 75 digital banking units or central bank digital currency in 75 districts reflect the government's vision. Speaking about Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, the Prime Minister emphasized the need to mull over the ways of reducing dependence on other countries by exploring different models of financing the related projects. He said the country's startups can grow only when entrepreneurship be encouraged and stress on innovation and focus on new business areas is given.
आज देश आत्मनिर्भर भारत अभियान चला रहा है। हमारे देश की निर्भरता दूसरे देशों पर कम हो, इस बारे में मंथन बहुत ही आवश्यक है। इसका एक उदाहरण PM गति शक्ति नेशनल मास्टर प्लान है। इससे जुड़े प्रोजेक्ट की सफलता में आपका केंद्रीय रोल है। देश के संतुलित विकास की दिशा में भारत सरकार की योजनाएं जैसे एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट प्रोग्राम, देश में करीब 100 से अधिक ऐसे डिस्ट्रिक्ट चुने गए हैं जो राज्य की एवरेज से भी पीछे हैं। तो हमारी फाइनेंशियल इंस्टीट्यूशंस वहां के कोई भी प्रोजेक्ट है तो उसको प्रायोरिटी दे करके उनको आगे लाने के लिए कह सकते हैं।
The Prime Minister asked to identify 8 to 10 sectors where India can be among top 3 countries. The Prime Minister insisted that Industry 4.0 is not possible till the country moves ahead in the fields like fintech, agri-tech, meditech and skill development.
RBI today launched UPI for feature phones called UPI 123 Pay. RBI Governor Shaktikant Das launched the UPI 123 Pay and also launched 24/7 helpline for digital payments in Mumbai. This new initiative by RBI will facilitate use of UPI with text and allow feature phone users to seamlessly perform various financial and non-financial transactions. The 24/7 helpline will give an opportunity to provide solutions to various queries about digital payments. There are more than 40 crore feature phone users in India, and they were not able to use digital payment solutions. Considering this fact, RBI has launched the UPI for feature phones. There is a server-side common library which enables the user to do digital payments. For this, facility internet is not required, and it can be used in various languages, although initially it is available in Hindi and English. User will have to link his bank account with a feature phone and will have to set UPI PIN with the details of the debit card. You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. International Women's Day being celebrated today. President Ram Nath Kovind confers Nari Shakti Puraskar on 29 women achievers in recognition of their exceptional work towards women empowerment. President Ram Nath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi extend greetings on the occasion. Prime Minister says Indian economy picking pace after pandemic reflects fundamentals and reforms of the government. In Manipur, repolling in 7 polling stations of 5 assembly constituencies progressing smoothly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a seminar at Women's Saints Camp at Dhordo in Kutch this evening. India raises concerns at UN Security Council over humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, calls for immediate ceasefire and need for return to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. And in Women's World Cup, Australia defeat Pakistan by 3 runs at Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Janadesh 2022.
Results of assembly elections in Goa, Manipur, Punjab, Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand, along with by-election for Majuli assembly seat in Assam.
On Thursday, 10th of March 2022. Stay tuned for result updates every hour from 8 a.m. onwards.
Special bilingual discussion and analysis program from 7:20 p.m. to 8 p.m.
Special radio bridge program connecting poll-bound states between 9:15 p.m. to 10 p.m.
Tune into FM Gold, Rajdhani channel and the national network of All India Radio.
Welcome back to the Midday News on All India Radio. In Manipur, repolling at 7 polling stations of 5 assembly constituencies is going on smoothly. Among these 5 constituencies, 4 are scheduled tribe. Repolling is going on amidst tight security arrangements. The 5 assembly constituencies are Wongjing Tenta, Ukhrul ST, Chingai ST, Karong ST and Tadubi ST. These assembly constituencies witnessed polling last Saturday at the final phase election of the state. However, there were incidents of damaging EVMs by miscreants on the polling day at these polling stations. Therefore, the election authority decided to conduct repolls in these 7 polling stations today. The poll timing is from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. India achieved a major milestone today as the daily new COVID cases has declined to 3,993 in the last 24 hours. This is the lowest new cases record in India after a gap of 662 days. A total of 3,970 cases were reported on the 16th of May 2020. In another achievement, India's active caseload has dropped below 50,000 after 664 days.
India has strongly condemned the barbaric terrorist attack on the camp of Malian armed forces on 4th of March at Mondoro in the central region of Mopti in Mali. 27 Malian soldiers were killed in the attack. India has extended its heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families of the lost ones and wished speedy recovery of those injured in the terrorist attack. India has said that the worsening situation in Ukraine and ensuing humanitarian crisis deserves our immediate and urgent attention. In the meeting called by UN Security Council to discuss the humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, India said an estimated 1.5 million refugees have sought shelter in neighboring countries of Ukraine over the last 11 days. India's permanent representative to the United Nations, T.S. Tirumurti, said at a council meeting to discuss the humanitarian crisis on Monday, this has led to a pressing humanitarian crisis that needs to be addressed expeditiously. As per reports, hundreds of Indian nationals, many of them medical students at Sumy State University, have been stranded in the eastern Ukrainian city after evacuation efforts failed due to continuous shelling. The permanent representative said Prime Minister Narendra Modi once again spoke to the leadership of both sides yesterday and reiterated India's call for immediate ceasefire and the need for both parties to return to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. He said India has reiterated urgent demand for safe and uninterrupted passage for all innocent civilians, including Indian nationals remaining in Ukraine. He added India is deeply concerned that despite repeated urgings to both sides, the safe corridor for our students stranded in Sumy did not materialize. India's permanent representative thanked Ukraine and its neighboring countries for facilitating the return of over 20,000 Indian nationals in the last few days. He expressed India's willingness to evacuate nationals of other countries as well. He also said India welcomed Secretary General Antonio Guterres' flash appeal for Ukraine and his regional refugee response plan.
Russian President Vladimir Putin said that the task of carrying out the special military operation in Ukraine will involve only professional military service members. In his message on the eve of International Women's Day, the Russian president said conscript soldiers are not participating in the operation and will not be in the future. President Putin addressed the relatives of servicemen who are now participating in the special military operation. Russia launched a military operation in Ukraine on the 24th of February. The World Bank announced yesterday that its executive board had approved a $723 million package of loans and grants for Ukraine. The global lender, in a statement, said that World Bank yesterday approved a supplemental budget support package for Ukraine called Financing of Recovery from Economic Emergency in Ukraine. The World Bank further said the funds would help the Ukrainian government provide critical services, including wages for hospital workers, pensions and social programs.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a Nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter Vishwanath Das, who was born on the 8th of March, 1889. He gave up his law practice and joined the non-cooperation movement in response to the call of Mahatma Gandhi in 1921.
He was a member of the Legislative Council of Madras Province from 1921 to 1930, but gave up the membership in 1931 to join the Salt Satyagraha. He was instrumental in the creation of a separate state for the Odia-speaking people, becoming the Prime Minister of Odisha Province of British India during 1937 till 1939. He resigned from the Prime Ministership on 4th November 1939 at the bidding of Indian National Congress.
In Great Britain, it has been recognized in statutes. Parliament derives its power from the people of Britain, and Parliament was exercising the power of paramountcy. That being the position, I do not see any reason how the state rulers and their representatives could object to these expressions.
Vishwanath Das, addressing Constituent Assembly on 18th December 1946.
There is no reason for anyone to think that India would think of any other sovereign state than a republic. And a republic does not mean wiping off the states. I think that's an apprehension that is unfounded.
After independence, Vishwanath got elected to Lok Sabha in 1950 and became the president of Utkal Pradesh Congress Committee. He was appointed as the governor of Uttar Pradesh in 1962 and later became chief minister of Odisha in 1971. The noble soul, who has left an indelible impression on a resurgent Odisha, died on the 2nd of June 1984. We salute the great Indian.
We also remember freedom fighter and the first Chief Minister of Punjab in independent India, Gopi Chand Bhargav, who was born on 8 March 1889. He was greatly influenced by the thoughts of Lala Lajpat Rai, Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya and Mahatma Gandhi.
A medical doctor by profession, Gopi Chand was born in Sirsa district of Haryana. Disturbed by the massacre at Jallianwala Bagh in 1919, he joined the freedom movement and came into politics. Thereafter, Gopi Chand participated in every movement launched by Gandhiji and served prison terms in 1921, 1923, 1930, 1940 and 1942. He held several positions in the Congress organization. In 1946, he was elected a member of the Punjab Legislative Assembly.
After India's independence, he accepted the post of the first Chief Minister of Punjab on the request of Sardar Patel. He was the Chief Minister of Punjab 3 times. He was also the first president of Gandhi Memorial Fund. Gopi Chand took many steps to carry forward the creative tendencies of Gandhiji. He died on 26 December 1966. AIR salutes the great nationalist.
We also remember martyr Basant Lal Rawal, who actively participated in the Quit India movement rallies in Ahmedabad in 1942. He was killed in police firing on the 9th of March 1943 while participating in a demonstration against the British rule. We salute the great son of the soil.
We also remember freedom fighter Wajud Ali, resident of Delhi, who participated in the First War of Indian Independence in 1857. He was caught by British troops on charge of killing Lieutenant Commander of Delhi and rebellion against the British rule. Wajud Ali was executed by hanging on 8 March 1858. We salute the great martyr.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Moving on to sports, In the ongoing ICC Women's World Cup, in the sixth match of the tournament at the Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui, Australia cruised towards an easy victory over Pakistan. Aiming at a target of 191, Australia finished with 193 for 3, having 15 overs to spare. The win sees Australia rise to the top of the standings, while Pakistan remained winless from the two matches and are last on the standings. Prasar Bharati is covering the month-long ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2022 live through radio commentary on All India Radio Network. Indian women's cricket team has already set the stage for becoming the champions by defeating Pakistan in their debut match of the tournament. The commentary of ICC Women's Cricket World Cup 2022, which started earlier this month, is being broadcast by All India Radio on all its primary channels across the country, AIR, FM Rainbow Network, DRM and DTH channels. To make the coverage more interesting and engaging, All India Radio will produce special studio-based programs wherein experts will give insights into all the developments in the tournament at various levels. These programs will be interactive and bilingual, Hindi and English. To keep the viewers hooked to All India Radio, these insightful shows will be broadcast before the beginning of the matches, during the breaks and post-matches. For digital audience, these programs will also be available on Prasar Bharati Sports YouTube channel. To make the coverage inclusive, hourly updates on the progress of the cricket matches will be broadcast by All India radio stations across the country in their respective regional languages.
The Sensex and the Nifty were trading around 1% down in the afternoon trade today. Both stocks tumbled in sync with losses in the global share markets. The BSE Sensex was trading near 52,400 mark, while the NSE Nifty was trading near 15,700 level. The Sensex lost 437 points or 0.83% to trade at 52,406. The Nifty also declined 154 points or 0.97% to trade at 15,709. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. National capital will have a partly cloudy sky. The temperature will vary between 14 and 30 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have partly cloudy sky with 1 or 2 spells of rain or thunder showers. Minimum temperature was 22 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be around 34 degrees. Chennai is likely to have partly cloudy sky. Temperature will vary between 24 and 32 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 21 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 32 degrees. Srinagar will have partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Temperature will hover between 5 and 14 degrees Celsius. Jammu will have mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius while the maximum will be around 27 degrees. Leh is likely to have generally cloudy sky. Minimum and maximum temperature will hover between -4 and 5 degrees Celsius. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 5 and 14 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky, becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Minimum temperature was 8 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 18 degrees. Bengaluru will have mist. Minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius and maximum will be around 29 degrees. Hyderabad will have partly cloudy sky towards afternoon or evening. Temperature will hover between 21 and 34 degrees Celsius. Guwahati will have mainly clear sky. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. International Women's Day being celebrated today. President Ramnath Kovind confers Nari Shakti Puraskar on 29 women achievers in recognition of their exceptional work towards empowerment of women. President Ramnath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi extend greetings on the occasion. Prime Minister says Indian economy picking pace after pandemic, which reflects fundamentals and reforms of the government. In Manipur, re-polling in 7 polling stations of 5 assembly constituencies progressing smoothly. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address a seminar at Women's Saints Camp at Dhordo in Kutch this evening. India raises concerns at UN Security Council over humanitarian crisis in Ukraine, calls for immediate ceasefire and need for return to the path of dialogue and diplomacy. And in Women's World Cup, Australia defeat Pakistan by 7 wickets at Bay Oval in Mount Maunganui. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.